You know, as a teacher, I often get asked a bunch of different questions. Mr. Rowe, have you graded our essays yet? Mr. Rowe, can you round up my grade? Mr. Rowe, you've got to do this quick TikTok dance. Can you do this quick TikTok dance for me?
Wait.
And the answer, of course, is always no. But sometimes I get asked pretty cool questions, like, Mr. Rowe, what happened in season 6, episode 19 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine? Who was behind the Gulf of Tonkin? Hey, Mr. Rowe, why did the United States go to war with Mexico in 1846? And to that, I say, buckle up.
And you may want to put on a seatbelt.
This is US History with Mr. Rowe. Today we're gonna learn about the Mexican-American War. Now, before we talk about who started it, why did it happen, all that other stuff that I mentioned, we have to set the stage with some context. Now, the year was 1845. James K. Polk was just elected president, and after he decided to annex Oregon and Texas, he set his eyes on California. But there was only one problem for James K. Polk. California was already super happy being with Mexico.
Well.
But see, Polk was a big believer in manifest destiny, the idea that the United States should take as much land as possible. So he asked Mexico if he could buy California for a measly $25 million. Right? I mean, California was a huge part of Mexico. And also Mexico had like some major drama with James K. Polk.
I'm gonna go after your dude. You and your dude, and I know you. I know you, baby. I know you.
That's right. The drama was all about Texas. So here's what basically happened. Texas and Mexico used to be together, right? But then Texas started cheating on Mexico with the United States. And then Mexico got mad, so Mexico was all like, oh, stop doing that. I'm gonna give you some more rules. And then Texas was basically like, I don't like rules. I'm gonna break up with you. So then they broke up with Mexico and then got together with the United States. And then once they got together with the United States, Texas was like, oh wait, I left some land back in Mexico and that's mine. United States, can you please go get that for me? And the United States is like, sure, I'll go get that for you. And so then they go down to Mexico and they're like, hey, this is mine. And then Mexico's like, no, it's not yours. And they're like, I'm pretty sure it's mine. And then they're like, no, it's not mine. And that's basically what happened.
Jessica. This place had no other girls. Like, I would propose to you tomorrow.
I may have been watching a little too much of Love is Blind. Why, Barnett? Why can't you just be happy with one girl? Why do you gotta string along 3 people, Barnett? You're giving us all a bad name, Barnett. Don't like what you're doing, Barnett. Amber, I'm disappointed in you.
Never struck me as the person that would go for Amber. And it's
You told me that a
weird
couple
to see it all come together. I
About
feel
that
like you
past
guys
and
are
stuff.
emotionally connected. Like, nothing will ever break the bond we made. If anything ever comes up, you reach out to me.
Anyways, in other words, after Polk annexed Texas, right? Mexico and Texas couldn't agree on a southern border. Texas wanted the southern border to be the Rio Grande because that would give them more land. But Mexico wanted the border further north, the Nueces, because that would give them more land. The land in between these 2 rivers was called disputed territory. So Mexico was super mad with Texas and the United States by extension. So when President Polka Dots came by and asked if he could buy California from Mexico, they were all like, no way, are you crazy? Of course we're not gonna do that. And that's when President Polk knew that the only way that he was gonna get his hands on California was by taking it. But he couldn't just like declare war on Mexico to get land. I mean, that's something that only evil empires do, right? So instead, Polk got an idea. He thought, hey, what if I get Mexico to attack the United States first? That way they look like the bad guy instead of me. And then we can get away with going to war with Mexico, no problem. And that's when Polk decided to poke Mexico. Like poke Mexico? Like provoke Mexico?
Stop it. Get some help.
To provoke Mexico into attacking the United States first, Polk sent a bunch of soldiers into the disputed territory. So when Mexico saw the American soldiers in disputed territory, they thought that they were under attack by the United States. So they opened fire, killing 16 Americans, which later became known as the Thornton Affair. And just like that, Polk had his excuse to go to war with Mexico. But as president, he couldn't legally declare war on Mexico because in the United States Constitution, it says that, quote, Congress shall have the sole power to declare war. I mean, presidents can't just declare war on whoever, right? I mean, that would be crazy. So Polk went to Congress and gave a speech in order to try to convince them to go to war with Mexico. And in his speech, Polk basically made it seem like he only sent the soldiers down there to prevent Mexico from attacking the United States. Quote, I had ordered a military force to meet a threatened invasion of Texas by the Mexican forces. It was our duty to extend our protection over her citizens. 16 were killed. Mexico has invaded our territory and shed American blood on American soil. Except it wasn't American soil. It was disputed territory. But not everybody bought it. Congressman Charles Sumner thought that it was just a sneaky plan for slave owners, like Polk, to take even more land from Mexico. Mexican decreed the abolition of slavery. Slaveholders crossed the Sabine with their slaves in defiance of the Mexican Ordinance of Freedom. The work of rebellion sped. Our newspapers excited the lust of territorial robbery for the extension of slavery. But sadly for Sumner, most of Congress agreed with Polk, and that's when they declared war on Mexico. And there you have it. Polk started a long-standing American tradition of coming up with reasons to declare war on people. And if you thought that was intense, check out the sequel.